Here's why Andy from Undead Unluck is unbeatable. He can't be beaten by the likes of Goku, Zeno, Superman, and so on. But before I get into that, I need to explain a few things. In the world of Undead Unluck, there are people called negators. They negate the rules of the world. For example, Unbreakable can mark anything with a kanji, and that marked thing becomes completely unable to be broken no matter what. They negate the concept that they are named after. Billy negates fairness. Ishin negates the concept of breaking things. There are two types of negators: external targeting and self-targeting. External targeting types can only affect others, not themselves, while self-targeting types can only target themselves. An external targeting example is Fuko, who is unluck. She negates the luck of others. She touches based on how much she likes them. A self-targeting type is Tatiana, untouchable. She negates the touch of others. There is a barrier around her that is completely invincible. However, negators can change their power because their abilities change depending on their interpretation of their rule. For example, Fuko can now affect objects as well as people, and Andy's power evolved and got much stronger by changing his interpretation of his rule. There are also creatures called UMAs. They are similar to negators, except they represent the rules. Like UMA Spoil represents the concept of spoiling, like rotting, and have the full power of their concept. Now on to the main part, why Andy can beat anyone. His power is undead. That means he negates the concept of death. And because his interpretation changed from him, believing you need a head to live, because without your brain you'd be dead. His undead got much stronger because his beliefs changed to believing. The soul gives people life, not the body. That means he cannot be killed by attacks to the soul, like he could before. He has many abilities like Deadline easily destroyed a city. And since then, Andy and Victor, they have both gotten dozens of times more powerful. And Andy's speed is relativistic to light, or a few times faster, because he went from the sun to the earth in a little bit of time. He also has a katakana that was made by Unbreakable, so it cannot be destroyed. So he has a reliable weapon. If that fails, he can solidify his blood into swords and create duplicates and devastating attacks. If you include Victor in his feats, it gets more crazy. If you add Victor's experiences to Andy's, he has survived the planet exploding in his face 100 times, and adding both of their ages together, it comes out to over 450 billion years. This is because aging would mean death. So his body stopped aging in his 20s. So he cannot age. He can also escape any ceiling, because he escaped UMA Seal's ceiling. So no matter who tries to seal him, he can escape it, because they will not beat the concept of sealing. His soul is his strongest aspect after his undead. His soul is so powerful, he can hold the 10 superior rules to their seats. This includes UMA Beast, language, gravity, sick, war, luck, death, soul, change, and more. So his soul is strong enough to hold the concept of the soul, and death can strain to a seat. He can project his soul out of his body. So even if you disable his body, he can still attack. He can add his soul to his attacks to enhance their power. And when Victor is added, his battle experience adds up to hundreds of billions of years. So his skills and techniques are perfected. Even amount genius character Andy is considered a genius amount geniuses. His battle IQ is also extremely high, allowing him to deduce negator and UMA rules. So his soul attacks allow him to bypass physical durability and directly attack the soul. Victor has some abilities Andy has, like Division Bullet, that allows him to shoot off all 10 of his fingers, and each finger regenerates into a Victor torso, but they disappear after a while, and he is strong enough to fight 10 negators at once. So he can beat the likes of Gojo and Sukuna without using his undead, due to his massive speed advantage and ability to attack the soul. Then he can just put last and live anyone due to his undead. If he integrates something as bringing him death or harm that would lead to death, he just recovers from them no matter severity. That also makes him immune to all diseases and poisons, due to his belief of the soul giving life. His body can be completely destroyed, and he can regenerate from nothingness. his soul also recovers. So even if you completely destroy his soul and or body, he recovers, because if he did not, that means he would die. So he cannot be erased or anything like that. I don't think there is anyone who can bypass his undead. Feel free to disagree in the comments.